After years of peaceful existence on the distant planet Valoria, Questar and his people were forced into battle. The power of their step crystal ripped a hole in the fabric of time, sending them backward to prehistoric Earth. Unaware that at the same moment the evil Emperor Krulos was plotting to capture the step crystal with his own grotesque Rulan forces. And so, the battle continues in a new place and time with Dino-riders.
Alright everybody, welcome to Back in Toons. This episode, we're kind of doing a whole dinosaur theme because Jurassic World is coming out real soon. We're talking about what dinosaur cartoons should we watch. We watched 4 of them. One hurt so bad. Dinosaurs sucked so bad.
I do not remember it ever being that dumb and goofy. I was blown away. I was surprised.
Well, before we get too far to this, I'm Michael. That's Jacob. And
hey everybody.
We're just going to be discussing a couple dinosaur cartoons. We decided to settle on Dino-riders. What was the other one? Extreme Dinosaurs. And yes. I think I'll throw out a little bit of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs because I got to watch it, but you didn't. So they all have kind of a theme. But yeah, that Dinosaurs, I actually wanted to go back in time and stop the production. If I had a choice between stopping Hitler or stopping the production of Dinosaurs, man, I'd be torn. I would be.
That's a pretty big decision. I mean, but then again, you know, we both would disrupt the time-space continuum, and we probably have an alternate future. Who knows? Who knows what could have happened?
Yeah,
but then again, none of us have a time-traveling DeLorean, and it's not possible right now, so it can't happen.
Ah, damn. So we're going to just start off with Dino-riders. The adventure begins. Episodes up on YouTube. Oddly enough, this one's a little bit longer because someone left the commercials in, which I don't mind. It's kind of nostalgic watching these old commercials.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, the commercials that would air during cartoons are light years away from the commercials that would air with like the nighttime TV shows, and almost all over like cereal or sugary stuff, and definitely toys. All right,
oh, good.
So it's up on YouTube.
Get the toys.
Dino-riders, let's go. So of course the beginning is a little long. So the first episode's kind of strange because it has this like rotoscoped, odd hand-drawn kind of opening.
Oh, I thought we were watching the Aha music video, Take On Me.
Wow, I wonder if it's from the same people because it definitely
this kid's gonna be in the Aha video. Oh wait, no, but it's fascinating. I like this kind of animation. It's pretty cool
too. By the way, that looks like Steven Dorff, doesn't it? Doesn't that look like Steven Dorff?
I think that might be Steven Dorff. It must be one of his early acting jobs.
You know what? I'm gonna look this up because wow, I've seen The Gate like 90 times, and that really looks like him.
Yeah, I know. Oh god, that was pretty awesome. It's pretty good, awesome introduction sequence. I will say that.
Yeah, it's really unusual for
Steven Dorff. Hey, his name's right there.
No kidding.
No, Frank Welker. Oh, Frank Welker. Oh my god, he's in everything. Peter Cullen too. Dang, man, so many well-known voice actors that pretty much, that have done almost every single cartoon out there.
That's so strange, though. It's not in his IMDb. Maybe he had it removed. Maybe you can do that when you're a kid. Like, if you commit a crime before you're at a certain age, that you can, have it expunged. Well, maybe you can do that with IMDb credits.
Probably, yeah. I think that's what happened. But yeah, no, that's totally Steven Dorff. Or who knows? He was probably, one of the main...
That's his name, too. That's strange.
He was probably one of the main kids in the cartoon also. Okay, now it's going into space. Oh, cool. What kind of animation? This is really good animation for what, late 80s?
Yeah, this is top notch.
Wow.
Well, it's Marvel Productions, of course. At the time, they were the elite. They bought out Friz Freling's company that was known for doing the Pink Panther cartoons. So, they already had a good production team in line, and then they launched their own stuff, and they really escalated things after the Spider-Man cartoon made so much money for them. And then Spider-Man Amazing Friends, Incredible Hulk, they were really good, and then they went out of business, and damn.
I know, it happens. Not everybody wants to watch cartoons anymore because cartoons promote this and that, yet they're constantly promoting, teen pregnancy and all these, teenage pre-drama shows.
Oh,
They're
So
teaching.
yes, this is of course the ruling that they said that cartoons could now become like basically half-hour commercials for toys, which they didn't allow before like
Ah,
1982. They allowed it, but of course, there had to be some sort of redeeming value, especially if there was violence. That's why you ever notice when you watch GI Joe at the end, it's like, and knowing's half the battle and stuff like that. It was kind of a
yeah.
ruling that said you had to put in some sort of public service announcement to make up for the fact that it's basically a half-hour commercial.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's just not fair that cartoons had to be treated like they were just advertisements or commercials for for little kids only. It's like,
Yeah, well, then again, we wouldn't have Transformers, GoBots, GI Joe, Thundercats, He-Man.
Disney.
Yeah, so well, Disney existed before the whole toy thing, but I get what you're saying. So
Yeah.
Dino Riders was a line of toys from Tyco. I was doing toys at this time. I hadn't given them up before I went on to like baseball cards and stuff like that. But I don't remember anybody who had Dino Riders. I don't even remember the commercials or the toys, but I do remember the comic book from Marvel, and that's about it.
No, well, hey, since you just mentioned Marvel Productions, it makes sense that they did the comic book. They had the rights to it. But
Yeah.
so, like, this is a pretty cool setup. I mean, people from the future traveling through time to prehistoric Earth.
Okay, so I should say this. The creator of Dino Riders also has a very strong connection to Marvel in the fact that he is Jerry Conway, who is very notorious during the late 60s, early 70s, being one of the first guys to take over the writing from Stan Lee. He is the co creator of Punisher. He's also responsible for killing off Gwen Stacy.
Oh wow, he's a dark writer. Yeah, he knows how to switch things up.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. There's an excellent interview that he did for a podcast called Word Balloon, where this writer just basically does a whole career, interview about his whole career and stuff like that, and it's really great. He also is the co-creator of Firestorm for DC.
Oh wow.
I think he's responsible though for the worst era of Justice League of America. It was called Justice League Detroit, where they had nobody except like Aquaman and Martian Manhunter, and the rest of the team was just terrible. But I'm not sure which
What?
one. Okay, there was
Detroit?
there was a point where Justice League was completely falling apart. They had none of the big league guys, and their home was not on a spaceship or a really cool headquarters. It was like in a cave in Detroit.
Well, I mean, that kind of setting could make sense right now,
Yeah, it's
considering they're
it's
bankrupt and
ridiculous.
going to decay.
Well, it's also completely ridiculous that Aquaman could be their leader. He's like there for a half hour. He's like, you know what? I can't do any monitor, watch or anything like that. I
Mm,
have to go. I
no,
gotta go hang out in a
this is like
pool.
something like that is just set up for street heroes like Huntress or Nightwing or the Question,
Yeah,
not
I kind of
freaking
back up.
Aquaman.
I can back up Martian Manhunter, but I can see also why the sales suffer because Martian Manhunter is kind of a cult hero. So
Hmm.
yeah, but whatever.
I
He's
guess
notorious for one of the worst eras of or Justice League ever.
so. I'm trying to guess like the setup here for these villains is like they're like mutated amphibians, flies, underwater animals. I'm like, okay, are these species that were going extinct and now they're kind of getting revenge on the human race? Like, what was the backstory on that?
Yeah, this is one of the most bonkers cartoons I've ever seen, but at the same time, it's so entertaining. It's okay. There's a movie from 1982 called Yor, the Hunter from the Future, where they combine Star Wars and Conan the Barbarian.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it has stuff like this, like giant triceratops, and they're fighting it, and at the same time, they have like stormtroopers with laser guns. It's a completely batshit insane movie.
Wow.
It is
I'm just
not
gonna
good.
say the concept here, like what they're doing with the dinosaurs, is like arming them with all their technology. I mean, are the elements from Earth? Well, then again, it's a cartoon, so you can't really get into it. Kids
Yeah.
just love it because it's awesome. So I was about to say, like the elements of Earth, they're like sufficient, energy resources.
I guess.
But then again, with their technology, they're probably able to synthesize it better.
Sorry, I'm looking at Jerry Conway trying to find anything he's done lately. Because he went off to do TV for a while, like he did this cartoon, but he also did tons of TV. Did a couple movies. He wrote Conan the Destroyer, which is kind of the kid version. It's like the PG family version of Conan, which it's still entertaining, but come on, No sex, no gore. Nah.
Well, I thought it was pretty bloody. I thought it was still pretty bloody,
Well,
and
in
it
the
had
end,
Will Chamberlain.
yeah, when they take out that monster at the end, they rip off his nose. That's pretty disgusting, actually.
Yeah, his horn. Yeah, but okay, I'm pretty sure that little kid is Steven Dorff.
You know what? I can't find it in his IMDb, but man, it said his name though, right? Didn't it?
Yeah, Steven Dorff. Dorff.
Also, Jerry Conway wrote Fire and Ice. Have you ever seen this animated movie?
By Ralph Bakshi. Yes.
Yeah, he also co-wrote that before he did Conan the Destroyer. He went on to do tons of TV, Father Dowling Mysteries, Diagnosis Murder, stuff that doesn't even make sense, Jake and the Fat Man. But then he went back and did Hercules. He did the Batman animated series, then crap loads of Law and Order, which I could care less
wow!
about.
I'm not surprised that he did Batman the animated series, considering like what he's created, what he's done with his storytelling, especially like being co-creator of the Punisher. But I will say right here, okay, I want to say a little fact about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think there's been evidence that concludes that, or that supports the theory that the T-Rex was more of a scavenger because of its arms.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he may have a big old jaw, but it's like he really couldn't reach anything, and they probably exaggerated his size.
Well, I didn't know anything about that. When did this happen?
I think this happened like about 2-3 years ago.
Why does he have such tiny arms? Did they think that he didn't need to hold up anything to his mouth or hold things down and tear it apart? It's so strange.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't even think they could use the digging purposes. He'd have to use his mouth.
Maybe that's why he was so pissed, you know? It's like, I can't even eat a bowl of cereal. Can't jerk off.
Yeah, I know.
Bone on.
I know. It's like, especially when mating, it's like you can't really hold the person down if they needed to. But then again, animals don't really get into it like we can. They probably look at us like we're a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, it's like, what kind of position is that?
Louis C. I know. Even like Louis C.K. was like doing it instead of his show. He was like doing a little stand-up gig at the beginning of his show, and he's just like, well, he's there. He's doing that. Why are they making weird faces? He's coming on her tits. That's weird. Whoa. They're probably making fun of us. Oh my God, Turbo Hopper.
We've officially gone from a PG show to a PG-13 show, but I think you know what? We tried to keep the show as low key as possible, try to be family friendly, but I think we got to the point where I've discovered our audience is all grown up, so fuck it.
Yeah, no, okay. I definitely remember this Turbo Hopper. Oh man. Tyco RC, oh my gosh, they made so many toys.
While watching this, I got really nostalgic. Not because I've ever seen Dino-Riders before, but when I listened to the voice, I looked at the style that it was animated in, I was like, oh, this takes me back. And I look at the names, of course, the same guys that we're always used to. Peter Cullen, Transformers, Optimus Prime. We got Rob Paulson.
Frank Welker.
Rob Paulson, amazing in the whole Warner Brothers era of like Animaniacs and Wacko, Yakko, and Die. Frank Welker, of course. The other names, not so much. Townsend Coleman sounds familiar. Jack Angel sounds familiar. Okay, Townsend Coleman did Michelangelo in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Jack Angel, I'm almost certain I know who that is. Charlie Adler, I've seen his name plenty of times.
Oh, wow.
Jack Angel did a bunch of like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, and he played a couple characters in Transformers and G.I. Joe. He's just one of those really familiar guys.
Wow. Yeah, no, Frank Welker, he's, gosh, pretty much almost everything that you can think of.
90% of the cartoons we've covered on this show has Frank Welker's name all over it.
Exactly, especially, let's see, like I said, Real Ghostbusters. He was in that. He was also best known for, I'm pretty sure, was it? Yeah, he was voice of Fred.
Yeah, I was going to say Scooby-Doo is probably his most well-known. But he pops
Fred
up in
and Scooby-Doo, yeah.
Not just movies, though. Not just animation. He shows up in movies a lot of time, too. You just like looking, who's the voice of this? Oh, well, Frank Welker.
Shockwave and Soundwave also in Transformers.
Galvatron. Dr. Claw.
I thought Galvatron was Leonard Nimoy.
Well,
in the movie
it was. In the cartoon, no, because they couldn't afford him.
He was Megatron, and he was also Abu in Aladdin.
What the hell is that? That's awesome.
I know, and Curious George. He was also Curious George. We can't forget that.
Dude, what voice was it that I told you to practice? Oh, we were gonna do an
Oh,
intro with
Jeff.
Jeff
Oh,
Goldblum. I
we
totally
were trying to
forgot.
do a. I think we were trying to do a Jeff Goldblum, for tonight's show.
Yeah. Did you ever figure out how to do it?
I think I might have figured out something. Of course, I'd have to reconfigure the. It turns out my teleporter is a gene splicer, so I have to go and reconfigure it and teach it that not to try to make the duplicate or try to add in filaments to. I can't do it without laughing.
What is that? Your Jeff Goldblum impression?
Yeah.
Oh no, Jeff Goldblum is not in your wheelhouse. I'm sorry. I should
I know I'm
apologize.
horrible. I can't. It's just so tough to do. I have to work on it.
I was like, I thought you were just going over the dialogue, what to say as Jeff Goldblum, and then you were going to go into it. And I was like, oh wait, no, you're doing it now. See, you're pretty much a master of impressions. I've discovered this over the last few episodes, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but back to Dino Riders. Sorry, we got off a tangent here. It only lasted 14 episodes. That's not a total surprise. A lot of the syndicated shows that had to do with toys, they're on the lower end. They usually didn't last more than like a 13 episode run.
Oh yeah, no. Plus, it was also a high budget cartoon as well, just from looking at it.
Yeah.
Like, even though this is like a VHS recording, my gosh, it still looks good.
Yeah, it looks really great. I was just stunned the second I saw it. Now, while the episodes only lasted 13, the toy line went for 3 years. So they had a new line every Christmas, which is a surprise.
Oh, it is. No, I mean, there's only so much you can do with this, and there's only so many dinosaurs to choose from. However, what I found was like kind of interesting. What I wish it would explain those little stones, those little tablets around their neck, where they're able to communicate with the dinosaurs through some kind of telepathy, which I thought was a pretty interesting aspect. I'm like, okay, so what does it focus on? Certain electromagnetic patterns? With their consciousness.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. It's an interesting concept, but not everything is explained. Of course, a lot of stuff that is truly astonishing, sci-fi wise, it's kind of hard to explain. Like we were saying during the Mad Max episode we just recorded, where it's like, well, the hand is cool and everything, but how does it work? But yeah, this looks like it's telepathy. It still makes much more sense than the Headmasters do in Transformers. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Looking at these guys, I'm reminded. Have you ever seen a movie called Hell Comes to Frogtown?
Oh my gosh, no, I haven't.
It's a movie with Roddy Piper, and it's a post-apocalyptic Mad Max style movie where he goes to a town. Apparently, the frogs have been exposed to nuclear waste, and now they talk and they wear clothes and they run cities. It's a very weird movie. Here's the thing: is that there's like 3 sequels.
Do they all have Roddy Piper? Or
No, he's just in the first one. The second one has Lou Ferrigno, and I think nobody in the third or fourth one.
Yeah, nobody even cared. Once they got to part 3, they were done.
The funny thing, I always remember the second tape was green. Like they just...
Oh my gosh, I remember this so much. This car set right here. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I had this, but I only had part of it. You could build and add on, I think. I don't think this is the... Well, maybe this is the whole set for this particular collection. Oh, Zero Gravity, yeah. You know what? I had something very similar, but the engines always got burned up. I had a dog, so I think some of the fur got into it and maybe just fuzz in general. So it would clog the path, so the metal wouldn't connect right, and I would hit it, and it would go and go and go, and then all of a sudden it just smelled like burning hellfire.
Right. Oh gosh, that is awful.
Yeah,
you burned it out, man.
Oh yeah, and or you go too fast and they shoot right off the track and crack somebody in the face. So yeah.
Now this concept, I mean, like I said, the ship does remind me of Transformers. Just like the whole, especially like the whole scenario. They're escaping from a certain planet and they're being chased by the enemies, like overwhelmingly chased by the enemy, which is kind of like how it was on between the Autobots and Decepticons and Transformers.
You know what I just thought of? You know what's hilarious is that we were sitting here talking about dinosaur cartoons. What cartoons had dinosaurs in them? Duh. Transformers. We already did that last time. The Dinobots. Yeah, the Dinobots. Damn it.
Oh my gosh. Because dinosaurs are cool. Everybody loves dinosaurs, don't they?
Yeah, Yeah. So while we're talking about this real quick, the one thing I'll say is there's another comic connected kind of dinosaur cartoon I watched. You didn't get to watch. It was called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. It's from comic creator Stephen Grant. In fact, it started off as a comic book and then became an animated series. Very
Oh,
unique. Something just very strange about. If I remember the concept correctly, the dinosaurs have been underground, evolving, and they come up through the earth in the future, like 20 years from now, and basically lay waste to everything. They blame mankind for the death of all their brothers, and it becomes like a post-apocalyptic world. So it's humans versus dinosaurs, but they have like cars and rocket launchers and stuff like that. It was actually kind of a cool
wow.
idea, but the animation is very peculiar, and I didn't particularly care for it.
Right. Okay, just like Cadillac dinosaurs. I'm like, okay, so these dinosaurs are dressed up as pimps going around in their caddies.
Oh my god, that would have been an infinitely better cartoon.
Something like Fritz the cat.
Give me some horn.
Okay, but I will have to say, okay, so okay, I'll give them okay everything else besides the destruction of the whole dinosaur species. You can't really get mad at us for that, but you can get mad at us for everything else. Like literally everything else, like global warming and certain species going extinct. But no, not destroying your dinosaur
No,
race.
no, no.
You can't get mad
I
at.
might have the concept wrong, but I was wrong. It's not Stephen Grant. Why did I think it was Stephen Grant? It's based on a comic book, but Steven D'Souza, the creator of Die Hard, 48 Hours,
Yes,
and
that's
the absolutely horrendous Street Fighter, is the guy behind the cartoon.
the horrendous Street Fighter movie, right?
Right. What I say?
Okay,
Just
good.
Street
Because I'm not
Fighter?
talking.
Whoops.
Yeah, because we can't be talking about the cartoon. The cartoon was fantastic,
No, no,
but no. And also, yeah, a huge majority of these villains are like, well, at least the lackeys anyway. They're all like cobras and snakes. That just seems kind of weird. It's like, do you think they would have more dominance over toads?
That's weird. I'm looking this up, and I don't know this guy, Mark Schultz. He did a comic called Xenozoic Tales, and that's what Cadillacs and Dinosaurs spun off from. But I don't remember that comic. And I remember there was a video game of this for like the Genesis or something. And people were talking about Cadillacs and Dinosaurs like it was some great thing, but the comic didn't last very long, I don't believe, and neither did the cartoon. But if you're curious, the whole thing's out on DVD, and it's also on YouTube.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Oh, it's Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. I was saying the entire series is on DVD. It's also on YouTube if you want to check it out.
Oh, okay, got it.
Oh, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs was a Capcom game. What
Oh, it
console was
was?
it put on? Yeah, but it didn't say what console it was. I think it was just an arcade game. It had to have been on a console. Nobody just puts them out for the arcade. But it looks like, if you look it up, it looks a lot like Street Fighter. It looks like the same engine. Did they fight dinosaurs? I don't get that.
I don't know. Yeah, that was pretty weird.
Yeah,
I don't
but it
think
doesn't
they
say
did.
it was for any console. I would think maybe it would be like the Neo Geo or something high end.
Yeah, it had to be on something because I don't remember that game at all.
That what's funny is some of the villains kind of remind me of He-Man characters, like the lesser characters on He-Man, or are like She-Ra, Kordak's crew.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Speaking of, I hope He-Man makes a comeback soon.
They should be making a movie. I don't understand. I thought after Transformers killing it at the box office, and G.I. Joe's doing well, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did very well. Why hasn't there been like a plethora of toy-based movies? Why are we not seeing Thundercats? It's possible now. We have great CGI. We have great animation out there. Why can't they do that? Thundercats live action is going to look
Yeah.
silly. He-Man, though, would translate very well.
Oh no, it definitely will. I mean, come on, we've got Battleship, and that was a piece of. That was
Yeah,
kind of.
that was pretty bad. But then because Battleship bombed, they did Ouija. Now, critics hated Ouija, but I actually thought it was pretty entertaining. And not because I know the director. I just, I'm not that kind of, you can't buy my affection. Just because I know the guy doesn't mean I love the movie. But it was actually a pretty decent movie. So Hasbro's back on, back on track. Yeah, Battleship was a big bag of ass. I did not finish that movie.
Yeah, no, it's like it doesn't matter who you're in it. It's like I love Rihanna, but I mean that wasn't enough. Taylor Kitsch is cool, as was that one guy from True Blood. I keep forgetting his name. Peter Sarsgaard.
Oh, is he?
Someone.
No. It's Peter Sarsgaard's a different guy. He's the one from Boys Don't Cry and Green Lantern.
Yeah,
I know,
that's right.
I
He
know
was
you're talking
Hal.
about though. And Stellan
He wasn't Hal.
Skarsgård's kid. What'd you say?
It was who? No. He wasn't Hal. He was Hector.
Was it Alex Sarsgaard? Something
Alex
like that.
Sarsgaard.
Yeah, something like that. He's the one. Yeah,
Stellan
True Blood.
Skarsgård's son.
You know what's funny though? I'm watching Dino-riders here, and this could easily translate to the big screen. I mean, you already got Dinosaurs, which are easy to master. Now just strap some people on there and use them as a. Just load them with rocket launchers and kick some butt.
I know, and plus we don't really need CGI villains.
No.
Like,
well,
we can just use old prosthetics.
The bad guys are going to have to modify, or they are going to have to do CGI because they look ridiculous.
No, some of them, yeah. But also, oh gosh, what was I going to say?
Oh, it
yeah.
changed the hero's hairdo.
Oh yeah, Liam Neeson was also in that one too. He was also in Battleship.
Oh. Yeah,
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. I've actually said that more than once. Liam Neeson. I think that's it for us with Dino-riders. We really don't need to finish it.
Well,
the communicators
it pretty much is finished.
Did we just finish? Well, that was awfully coincidental.
Yes, it was. Like I said, it could transition to the screen. Plus, you need something. Kids need to get interested. There needs to be more cartoons these days, and this is something that definitely needs to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, only one season, and I'm pretty sure some parents were very nostalgic. It's like, oh, cool, let's see what they do with this new cartoon. All right, awesome. I can show it to my kids. My kids could get into it.
All right, so that's it with us on Dino-riders. Let's pause for a second, and we'll jump to our next cartoon.
Something's really rocking on planet number 3. Modern man's got prehistoric company. A colossal fossil fuel, unlike anything before, between the reckless raptors and the extreme dinosaurs. Extreme dinosaurs. Tails that snap like thunderclaps, talking, stalking, rocket trap. Extreme dinosaurs. The classic and Jurassic form. Extreme dinosaurs. Saurian storm. Let's fossilize them. Extreme dinosaurs. Velocitosses to the max. They fossilize them in their tracks. Extreme dinosaurs. The classic and Jurassic form. Extreme dinosaurs.
All right, so Extreme Dinosaurs is going to be the last cartoon I think we're going to discuss. I can't talk today. I hate that.
All right, I know, it's Friday. We're too excited.
I'm already drunk. So of the dinosaur cartoons, there is one that we skipped. Denver the Last Dinosaur. It's just too kiddie for me. I can't do it. Did you ever watch Denver?
I did when I was a little kid, but I have not watched it since then. Although that would have been a good idea to do too.
I don't know. Dink the Last Dinosaur, I think, is a spin-off of that. Of course, there's other famous dinosaurs and cartoons. We talked about the Dinobots. We're going to do Flintstones, so don't think we ignored that. But Flintstones, I think, is perfect with Jetsons. It's so much more than just being about in the prehistoric times that it doesn't really fit in with this theme. And there was another one that I was thinking of, but I just forgot it. It was a dinosaur cartoon that I thought was complete ass, and I can't remember. So I guess it's good that I forgot.
Right, yeah. No, okay, so I think I do remember this. It's by the same animation studios that did Street Sharks, and I think it was on around the same time, and there were some spin-off episodes. I think I remember watching those as a kid.
Yeah, so usually we do cartoons that are 20 years old or older. This one's almost. It's from 1997, so we're kind of close. I'm not going to be too much of a stickler. We've gone beyond before with, what was it, the Avengers one we did last month or 2 months ago. So, but in general, we try to stay to classic.
Oh, wow.
Did you know this is on for 52 episodes? 52 episodes!
That's good. That's pretty much
that's
like
a lot,
what?
A lot more than... Well, I think Extreme Dinosaurs is okay, but I think I'm good with one episode. I'm not the kind of guy who would sit down and watch a whole series, whereas I would watch all Dino-riders. I just wish the other two were switched. The Dino-riders looks like it's the kind of thing that could have gone for 52 episodes.
Yeah, but then again, well, this one was probably like a huge hit too.
This was a Canadian company, I believe, because The only name I recognize here is Gary Chalk, who is known for a lot of voice work, but also a lot of on-screen stuff, but mainly Canadian.
Also, who else? No, who's the voice of the main T-Rex guy? The one with the cannons on his shoulder.
T-Rex, is his name T-Bone?
I believe so. Here,
Tyrannosaurus
let me
was
look
the
at.
team's leader. Yeah, so Scott McNeil. Sounds familiar. Sounds like the kid from. Nope, that's not who I thought it was. I've seen Scott McNeil. He's in that documentary about voice actors. He was in Beast Wars. He did 4 characters there. He was in Gundam Wing, Inuyasha. I don't know what Stormhawks is.
I'm not sure what it is, but I know him from Gundam Wing. He was Duo. He was also X-Men and X-Men Evolution. They came out around 2000 when everybody was in high school, and he was he was of course Wolverine. He's their mentor.
Oh, I remember that series. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Scott McNeil was in so many. I mean, pretty much almost every cartoon I watched. And of course, Gary Chalk, he's the voice of the villain, Bad Rap. And he was also the voice of Optimus Primal in Beast Wars as well.
Now, if you look at Scott McNeil's history of how much work he's done, now, on the side where it says his most prominent characters, they're not that well known, but if you look at any cartoon that's basically been made in the last 20, 30 years, he is somehow involved. It's amazing. My jaw's on the floor looking at this.
Yeah, he was also the voice of Piccolo in, I think when Dragon Ball Z first started being translated to English.
Well, he's in Reboot. He did tons of characters in Reboot, which is one of my favorite cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
League of Super Evil, I used to watch that. He-Man, G.I. Joe, Double Dragon.
Oh, my gosh.
Which we'll be discussing Double Dragon in a couple months here. Oh, there's a cartoon called Dino Baby. It's gross.
Yeah, he was the voice of Jimmy Lee. He was Billy's brother.
Wow, this
he was also the voice of. He was also the voice of. In the 2002 reboot of Masters of the Universe, he was Beastman, Ram Man, Stratos, Cobra Khan. Oh my gosh, he was so. He voiced a million people.
Wait, are you talking about Gary Chalk or Scott McNeil? Because I was talking about Scott McNeil.
Oh, Scott McNeil.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, no. Although Gary Chalk, he was the voice of Man at Arms, as well.
Yeah, I've seen mostly his live action stuff. I just watched something with him. It was bugging the crap out of me. I think it was some cheap robot movie. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. You see his face all the time. I think he was on Stargate for a while too. All right, so this is from Deke. We've only covered a few cartoons from Deke because I feel like they weren't that prominent with high quality stuff. Inspector Gadget, which we haven't discussed yet, which I want to, but I couldn't find a good combination with it. We have Captain Planet. We have Sonic the Hedgehog, which we haven't done yet either. Wow, there's a lot of good cartoons here that we just never really explored.
We haven't explored yet. Ha ha.
We're only a year and a half into this. We got 4 years or so worth of good material. Though there is a point where we're going to run out of good cartoons, and we're going to be like, screw it, we're changing it from back in Toons to trash Toons. We're going to just rip apart terrible cartoons.
That could work. That sounds like a good idea.
Well, we got our first taste with Battletoads, where I think at the end, in the last 5 minutes, we're like, fuck it, we're stopping it. We can't take it anymore. This is so bad.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Just looking at it, yeah, no. During the Ocean Group, voice actors, yeah, he was the voice of Piccolo.
Oh, Blue Man Kuma, he's a Canadian actor too. You see him all the time. If you type on him, he played the character Hard Rock. He's one of those guys. Oh darn, his face is not on Wikipedia. You look it up on IMDb though,
Possibly. What's his name again?
Blue Man Kuma. I know him from the RoboCop TV series. He took over for the captain.
Oh yes, no, I have. I do remember him. Oh my gosh, I remember seeing him in. Look Who's Talking. He was the one. He was in charge of the old folks' home.
Yes, there is. It says a complete series is on DVD in Australia, so I guess you're gonna have to import them. Not in America, so screw it. You got YouTube. Who needs to buy the DVD if someone cool is gonna be able to provide that for us?
Oh, of course. Thank you, YouTube, for now, until you become totally... Well, then again, they've already got too many ads running.
Yeah, you know what? The whole ad thing is driving me up the wall. I can't even watch a trailer, which is 2.5 minutes long, without watching a trailer before. You're like, I don't recall hitting this trailer, and then you realize, oh, it's a commercial. Damn it.
Yeah, he was also in... Yeah, Blue was also in Masters of the Universe. He played Decker in Masters of the Universe, which was the Snake Man.
Yeah, there's certain companies that wouldn't go with known, like American known voice actors. They would go to Canada to save some money, or that other company was based there, like Nelvana is a Canadian company.
He was also the voice of Gigabyte and Reboot. Yeah, he was. Oh my gosh, he was in a bunch of the cartoons we just mentioned.
I didn't
Pretty
realize
crazy.
this, but what we did Street Sharks last month, and one of the characters we talked about, or one of the spin-offs we talked about, was the fact that Dino Vengers was the original name of Extreme Dinosaurs. I thought Dino Vengers was a good name, but everything around 1997 all of a sudden turned to Extreme.
Oh wow.
I just remember all of a sudden everybody from like 1997 to about 2003, everything was Extreme Doritos, Extreme Hamburgers, Extreme
Oh
Cheers.
yeah.
It's just like, oh, it's because the X Games came out and all of a sudden blew everybody away how huge it was and all that. Everything had to be extreme. And then it was Unleashed.
Pretty much, yeah.
For a while, everything was Unleashed. And I'm trying to think, Raw. There's all sorts of code words they put in there. It was supposed to be, yeah, this is the new thing, man. Take out that old thing and toss it out. No, Mickey, you gotta make it with this catchphrase. It's stupid.
Right, and then you just mentioned RoboCop Alpha Commando. Yeah, Blue was also the voice of Sergeant Reed.
Oh, I wasn't saying so much the cartoon. He is in there was a live action TV show of RoboCop that last.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, RoboCop's one of those. We were talking about doing an episode where we discuss like R-rated movies that got turned into kids' cartoons, which boggles the mind. Like, how is there a Rambo cartoon? How is there a RoboCop? RoboCop makes a little more sense than Rambo, but there's some like Conan the Barbarian, the cartoon. You're like, oh, that seems like it'd be toned down. Certain things that like it shouldn't be rated PG, it should be rated R, but whatever.
Right. Okay. So, so let's go back to Extreme Dinosaurs. So, of course, this guy right here acting like a CEO, but acting so busy, is like, I don't have time for this. Like, blah 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 blah. I got to do business. Like, you're a freaking archaeologist. And a paleontologist? What else? What else do you need to do?
Huh. I don't really like. I hate to be a dingleberry, but I don't like this look. This post Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles look. The from I would say 92. Was that when the X-Men cartoon premiered? 1992.
Yeah, I think it was 91. I could be wrong.
That was the kickoff of this whole new era of cartoons, like action cartoons that just had a look that I didn't care for. So from like 92 or 91, you said, until probably around the time this cartoon came out, I don't like the looks. I think there's something about it just doesn't appeal to me. It's not that the stories aren't any good, but the animation is really ugly. It looks almost as bad as the late 70s, early 80s look. It's just, there's not a lot of character. Now, you had other companies like, Ren and Stimpy going on. I see companies with cartoons. Stuff with real stylized look, Cat Dog and Space Ghost. Something very peculiar and unusual about their look. The Head. Have you ever seen that cartoon, The Head?
Oh yes. Oh no, from the oddities. I remember that whole lineup.
Yeah,
But
Eon Flux. There was a lot of cartoons coming out that had a very unique look, and I don't like this. It looks generic to me.
Yeah, no, there's really not too much to this. I will give you that. And those robots, that's something I'd see in like,
Mega
oh
Man.
gosh, the Hulk cartoon and Mega Man.
Though Mega Man had a really good design to it.
That it did. I mean, I'm hoping Mega Man does come back as another cartoon. They've got to do something with that character.
Do you think the problem with these cartoons is the fact that kids were watching the ones from the 80s going, well, that doesn't look like the toy I have in my hand. I'm literally looking at Optimus Prime, the toy, and I'm looking at the cartoon. They're way, way different. Have you ever actually looked at Optimus Prime, the original toy? It looks nothing like the character in the cartoon.
Yeah.
So I wonder if
I wholeheartedly agree. I'm like,
yeah, I wonder if kids were complaining, and then that's when the companies and the director got together and said, okay, these have to look exactly like the toy. And maybe that's why there's not very much stylized look to them.
probably, yeah. That could be what it is. Because kids will get upset and they'll want returns. They're just not want it anymore. Kids are complicated.
I apologize. I feel like I'm dominating this episode. Go ahead. If you got some stuff to say about this guy, because you watched this cartoon when it was on. I have never seen it before.
I think I remember like a few episodes. For me, it was mainly just Street Sharks. I'm not even sure I was even at home in time to watch this, or maybe my brothers wanted to watch something else. Because there's three of us, we'd fight over what's on, what we should watch.
Yeah.
Until my parents came in and turned off the TV and said, you know what, you're not gonna watch shit. Yeah, but yeah, the design's really not too different from pretty much the pterodactyls. Too, I think it's a little too simplified. I mean, yeah, they're supposed to be like highly intelligent and highly evolved, but I mean, as far as like physical looks go, especially with facial features, no, they look exactly the same.
I will say this: at least the dinosaurs, there is something. What's the word? I can't say the word anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic.
Wow, we're having problems with this word. But there's something about their look that fits. The street sharks are probably the most hideous design I've ever seen of trying to make a shark, a human, kind of mold, and it looks like shit. At least the dinosaurs, they're kind of appealing. The T-Rex looks stupid, but the rest of them look kind of cool. The T-Rex looks like he ate something that he was allergic to, and now he has a swollen, infected face.
It does, I know, or pretty much just like really, or leprosy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he. Oh God, how horrible! We're just pretty much tearing this to shreds.
Yeah, there's somebody at home right now crying. My childhood is dead. We're not.
Your childhood is.
We try to find cartoons that we love, but there's some stuff that we have to be like, hey, this is matter of fact, we're kind of reviewing cartoons. It's more of that. I think it's weird when some people just like rip me a new act. You don't have to deal with the whole feedback part. There are times when you just hear about it and you're like, all right. And there's sometimes when people are just like, oh, you covered that cartoon, huh? Meh. Literally, we did the Max and Eon Flux a couple weeks ago, and I put it up, and people are like, yeah, I get Eon Flux, but the Max, why? And I'm like, because they're both significant. They're necessary cartoons to be made and watched.
And exactly, and the Max I thought was a great cartoon. I liked it better than Aeon Flux. However, I will say this. I mean, it makes sense that raptors are villains because raptors are more vicious than pretty much any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. As we discussed earlier with Dino-riders, T-Rexes. There's evidence that suggests they were just, scavengers and not predators. So it's like they wait till.
I was just thinking, we were watching dinosaur cartoons, and I said, Flintstones, and I forgot there's one cartoon. It's not a dinosaur cartoon. I don't think. Does Godzilla count as a dinosaur?
I don't know. He's definitely he's a reptile, but not. I don't know, because he wasn't born that way. He was mutated. He was nuclear experiment.
How does that work?
An accident.
Some people would consider him a dinosaur, like they lump it up, they would, but he's not a dinosaur. But he kind of has that same feel. But the point is though is that there was a cartoon after the movie came out, which was kind of popular actually. The cartoon was much more popular than the movie, I think, and. It's just too new. We really didn't want to cover that. That's from I think 1999.
Oh, the one with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. After the movie came out, they did a cartoon of it. Well, there's two Godzilla cartoons. We covered the '70s version last year when somebody was completely high, and we were trying to deal with that. And remember the smoke was blowing in our face. We're like, dude, we don't also want to not right now. And
no, it's like wait till afterwards because especially for when I'm hungry.
Well, it's also hard, it's hard to record a show with it. Yeah, there was a '90s series though with after the Matthew Broderick Godzilla came out. I actually remember liking the cartoon, but I don't think he counts as a dinosaur.
No, he doesn't. But I do remember the cartoon. Yes, it was the egg that survived, and then Matthew Broderick's character in the cartoon kind of found out a way to coerce him into being a good guy. I mean, as a kid, I loved it. It made millions of dollars, but it did get bad ratings.
Why haven't they made a Jurassic Park cartoon?
I do not know. I'm not sure.
It seems like they would, but maybe Spielberg's kept the reins pretty tight on this one. The thing that drives me nuts about Jurassic World, we're doing this cartoon because of Jurassic World. So it looks awesome. I love the cast, but they're ignoring the fact that 2 and 3 ever happened, and I have no idea why. What's the point?
I don't know. I mean, 2 was pretty good. 3 was okay. It was cool to see Dr. Grant back.
Yeah, I love the
But
pterodactyls.
oh yeah, definitely. And then there was also the scene with that different dinosaur that would swim underwater and deadlier than a T-Rex. But it's at the same time, there's just something just was off about it.
So you're okay with them erasing that history?
I'm a little. Don't worry, get me wrong. I'm a little confused by that. I'm not sure why, but then again, I don't think Jurassic World would happen, especially after events of Part 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's the new thing though, is that they're making these sequels after a long period of time, but they're erasing certain sequels, and I'm just like, unless you really, really screw up, like Halloween 6 was completely batshit insane, so Halloween 7 had to kind of like, oh, let's just forget that one. But then there's like, what's the Alien series? They're trying to make another Aliens movie, but they're trying to erase the fact that 3 and 4 happened because, Michael Biehn
They sucked.
and the girl died, whatever, so I get it, but at the same time, you're negating what David Fincher did. You're basically saying your work was shit, so we're going to erase it. I mean,
it pretty much was.
Every fanboy gets to go around erasing the history of a franchise to fit his own desires.
Right. I mean, well, also like what fanboys, like for the longest time before comic books became big movies, is pretty much like comic books were always just like disregarded and shelved and always thought as kid literature, not good enough for adults. But like nowadays, like if people want to try something new or change something around with these characters, fanboys just get outraged and pissed off and berserk.
Yeah.
And become the people, and they're pretty much trying to suppress creativity.
The first the first revolution of comics came around the late 70s when Neil Adams came around. And, he grew up on comics, so he decided to put his own spin on it. The first generation of kids who read comics and came to that world and worked in it, they wanted to put their own spin on it. But now you find yourself, the generation after that, where these creators basically, they have these ideas, but now they're just stuck. They're stuck in a rut because nobody will let them go anywhere. And we are so far off tangent right now. Wow. There's an episode where we could just talk about comic books sometime. But for right now, I apologize. We are still watching Extreme Dinosaurs, not the comic book hour, which I could talk about comic books for an hour.
Rob, oh, I know, definitely. You would know stuff that I don't even know too much about comics.
Yeah, and I know people who
nowhere
know
near as
more
much
than
as
me. I mean, it's just.
Well, that just shows that.
We're at the end.
But anyway,
we are at the end.
We are at the end, and that just pretty much goes to show that this we didn't really find that cartoon this interesting.
Yeah, I think that's what happens if we go off on tangents, like that much of a tangent. You can tell we've lost interest. I'm not saying it's awful. It's just something that did not grab my attention. That's funny. I just noticed the last name DePatie. Now, I told you that Marvel bought Friz Freeling's company. Well, it was Friz Freeling and I think David DePatie who created that company. I wonder if that's his son. Interesting.
Possibly.
All right, everybody. That's it with us. Back in Tunes. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/backintunes, and you can pretty much catch every episode we have up there. I'm uploading some old episodes, so you can usually tell. If it's one cartoon, it's usually an old episode. If it's a double feature, it's a newer cartoon, better production values, but all the same, still pretty entertaining. I am Michael signing off. Jacob?
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Take care. Namaste and good luck.
All right, everybody, have a good night.